Welcome, race fans, once again to Virtual Racing Network. On this great Saturday night, we are going to bring you some Roaring Thunder Racing League Corvettes here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And it is going to be some great racing here. We've been watching practice for quite some time now. We got 12 drivers already registered. We'll see if a few more do pop in here a little bit later, as we do have about 10 minutes here, 9.5 technically, before we get going. Before we get into all of that, though, we want to thank all of our partners here that are bringing this broadcast to you. We're starting with Walls Beard Co. Guys out there, if you have a beard, you need to take care of it. So head on over to wallsbeardco.com for their beard balm, all natural and organic products. Make sure you check them out. simspeedshop.com. Again, iRacers, this is the place to go if you need a custom-made button box or an e-brake for the rallycross racers out there. You need to check out simspeedshop.com. Get on there, get both those great products. Northwest Racing Series, they are the official one-to-go sponsor here. So later on tonight, at the end of lap 134, when the white flag does wave, you will see their logo up there. It is presented by them. Again, the one-to-go sponsor here for VRN. And, of course, we have their series coming up this Monday and Thursday. We will be running the championship race. You don't want to miss that, so stay tuned for that as well. Ohio IndyCar League. If you need to get into some IndyCar racing, there is the league to do it right there. Ohio IndyCar League. You can get all the latest information at facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. And, of course, last but not least, that is iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphic source. Head on over to ibog.co if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays for your streaming to pull from iRacing. Jason Allison can hook you up, and you'll also be watching him race in tonight's race, as he is currently actually second fastest here on the track. That being said here, of course, we do want to introduce our second chair, and that is, of course, Randy Post here once again on a Saturday night. Welcome to the booth.
All right, thanks, Charles. Thanks for having me. I'm pretty excited to watch these cars.
Definitely, we watched last week some great racing. I expect to see that again here. We were at Bristol last race. Here we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so another great track here on iRacing. And with these cars, we haven't seen too terribly much as far as wrecks go. These guys been out there, somewhat goofing off here in practice, but having a good time. But we still haven't seen too much, so I don't think we're going to see very many cautions here.
No, we've got a warmer track tonight at 91 degrees, and it's a lot bigger track than we had last week, so it could alleviate some of the wrecks, and that could be a lot of fun to see.
I definitely think we will see some good racing. Again, I don't expect to see too terribly much in the form of cautions. That being said, we could possibly. You never know what's going to happen on a racetrack. We'll pull up the race analyst real fast. Like you said, 95 degrees, 134 laps, 201 miles. Pit road, 50 miles an hour. So, again, it's not the easiest track. It's not the hardest track to get on pit road either. They have an advantage here. They do have the rev limiter, or the pit limiter as some people call it. So when it comes down to getting on pit road, they kind of have that advantage.
Yep, pit limiters can really help. And they can also hurt, because if you jump truck and you get it and you're caught speeding down pit road. Pit limiters are nice so you can get all your adjustments made that you need to get made, and make it easier to where you're not worrying about speed. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy them.
Yeah, what you're going to have to look out for here, too, of course, is coming off of pit road, making sure that you don't have it still on. We have seen people do that before, where they forget they have it on, and they go to hit it in the second gear, and it doesn't go, and they can't figure out why, and then they realize they have it on. By the time they do, it's sometimes too late, and you end up losing a ton of time, only going 55 miles an hour, or 50 miles an hour in this case, through pit road and onto the backstretch. So you've really got to be watching for that. We have about 5 minutes here Let's see if we can't pull Jeff Dotson down here real quick and talk to him. Jeff Dotson, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, just going to talk to you real quick here. This is the next to last race. So we were going to get your insight here going into next week as to who is in the chase and who is out of the chase right now, and who has a chance to get into it.
Well, as it looks right now, Jeremy's already locked in with his win last week there at Bristol, so Jeremy's already locked into that final 2 spots there with one. But the battle's still on with the last 3 here with me, myself, Charles Smith, and Stephen Leffler. Stephen basically has to win the race if he wants to get in. I'm pretty sure if he finishes second, he still doesn't make it, and I have to finish 3 spots ahead of Charles, as if I don't do that, I'm not going to make it in either. So right now, it's Charles that's got it. If me or Steven can't pull off a good finish here tonight, but I'm going to go for it and try our best and see, and hopefully Steven might be able to, do something as well.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see here. It looks like Steven Leffler does have the fastest time in practice. So we'll have to keep an eye. So he needs to win. You said you have to finish 3 spots ahead of Charles Smith. So we'll be keeping an eye on all of that here later on in the race. But any quick shout-outs you want to give out there for anyone before we get you back to your Trace channel?
Yeah, just you guys for broadcasting the season. Man, great job you guys did. We thank you for coming on board this season and broadcasting the races for us, and just everybody that comes out to these races each week and comes out here and has fun with us, and it's great to race around these guys.
All right, well, then look, we'll see you in the booth here after the race, and we're going to get you back to your channel there. And, of course, it is that time here with 3 minutes left on the clock, Randy. We've got to pick our wins here, or pick who we think is going to win. So seeing how it is only your second time here in the booth for this series, we'll let you have the advantage of going first.
All right, I am gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Jason Allison. Turned quite a few laps, and they were all pretty much consistent in practice. And he's sitting P3 right now in practice, so off tonight.
Oh, it's going to my pick here. I like to pick someone I think has a chance here, but with this one, anyone really has a good chance. I think I've got to go with according to iRacing anyway, what the underdog would be. Steven Leffler, only a B class. Everybody else in here is A classes. So even though he's the fastest, I think I'm going to have to go with him for my choice for tonight's win. So we'll see how these guys do. Again, we got Jason Allison, your pick, Steven Leffler as my pick. So this is going to get interesting again. I don't see too many cautions going to be happening here. Should be a great race. Hopefully we can go caution-free with any luck here. 134 laps, 201 miles. We are going to step away here for the last time and get over to the National Anthem. So we'll be right back here after the National Anthem with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to get to qualifying. Everybody's out on the track right now, so we are going to drop down here. Again, pull up your driver bar real fast. Open qualifying, so it's a little bit different here compared to most leagues where they do lone qualifying, so they will get some drafting here. Not too terribly much, but they will get some, as you're watching Jason Allison right now. And we're actually going to zoom out to a wider camera here so you can get a better look. This is going to play a factor in qualifying, as they do have that little bit of a boost from each other.
Right, and the good thing about open qualifying is definitely that you get a lot of drafting, and they can get you faster times. But the bad thing is, if you get too close to somebody and you kind of nudge them a little bit, they invalidate your lap time. So that can be really frustrating if you're on a fast lap and you kind of scrape bumpers with somebody, and there goes your fast lap.
As we just saw 3 cars doing that.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I was watching Mark Kochek here. Yeah, that can be a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been Jason Allison. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it was. But John Estes has not come out yet. So a few drivers on pit road still, but not too many. As again, these guys are putting in times here, so we'll go ahead and pull up your qualifying times there on the left-hand side of your screen. And now 7 drivers have put in times out of the 12 that we have here. So we'll see where these guys stand. So far, I don't think they're going to go a whole lot of drafting off each other. They're kind of spread out. But we'll have to see if that does play a factor into qualifying. But somehow I don't think it's going to. But everybody running about 30 seconds, so we'll be running about 2 laps a minute.
Yeah, and I personally love these mile and a half tracks. They're a lot of fun. They're really pretty wide, so you can get a good run on the outside and have plenty of room to where you're not right on top of each other. So you can, a lot of good clean racing can come.
You can indeed get a lot of clean racing. I think your mic's cutting out just a little bit on us. I'm not sure.
Oh, all right, I'll fix that.
But definitely. We'll see. Steven Leffler, obviously my pick for tonight. He's went on pit road, but 30.46. Currently second fastest here. Jason Allison, your pick, is coming out of pit road right now. He is third fastest with a 30.614. So he is up there at the front of this thing as well. So this could get very interesting between our 2 picks.
For sure, and I was watching the times as they were coming in the first couple times, and it looks like it takes a couple laps to get these things wound up and up to speed, because at first I was seeing times of like 30.8, and now we've got Charles Smith on top with the 30.1, so it may take a little bit to get these things wound up and to get tires going, so could see some faster laps yet with about 7 minutes left of qualifying.
And it is, I believe, partly or mostly cloudy. There are a lot of clouds here. It's not a night race, but that kind of clouds that will keep the heat down a little bit. Obviously, only 95. We've seen tracks up to 104. We've seen some up to 115 degrees before. So this is relatively cool compared to some of the tracks that we have seen. But Charles Smith is going to take the pole so far anyway here. In qualifying, as he's going to pull into his pit road a little sideways, but they're still going to service that car. So very interesting, as he's really sideways in his pit stall.
Yeah, it looks like he was expecting his pit stall to be closer down the line there. But Ronald Vincent just turned oh, nope, wrong person. Hulk Hogan sitting in second, about 2/10 slower than Charles Smith. So I'm expecting to see some more fast times to come in and get a closer group of times here. Yeah,
and Paul Cohen is actually going to bump Steven Leffler and Jason Allison down a little bit. Bruce Wright the third. Very interesting to see him here. I mean, not interesting. He races in this series, but it's interesting because we just got done watching him. You were in chat there, and I was helping Rudy with his 5,000 subscriber race. And he was running in that race too, so he's running double duty here tonight, as he was running the Cadillacs this afternoon and now the Corvettes. So he's doing a good job here running back-to-back races nearly.
Right, it's almost like when Tony Stewart ran the Indy 500 and the Charlotte 600 that year. So he had to catch a plane over to Atlanta from Talladega.
Yeah, and this is a lot of work. You know, you think about it, it's still a lot of time. He did 80 laps at Talladega and now 134 at Atlanta. That's a lot of racing in one day. So I can imagine he probably took a break, got something to eat, got hydrated, and strapped back in, and he's getting ready to do it all over again. So we'll see how he does here, but it looks like John Estes is finally going to come out onto the track, as well as Jim Whaley Jr.
Right, I have Jim Whaley Jr. still sitting on pit road right now, but still got Charles Smith up top with the fastest qualifying time. I think Steven Leffler ran a little bit quicker time. He's at a 3:19 now, so he's up to second back from Paul Cohen. And Jeremy Horn ran a 30.454 to put himself in fourth place, knocking down Jason Allison.
He is indeed going to be he's somebody you got to watch here. And you're right, Jim Whaley Jr. has not come out onto the track. He is in his car, but still sitting on pit road, as these guys are really starting to mix it up top here. As far as times go, for the most part, but still quite a bit left to go here, as we'll see where they all stack up. And what we do want to point out here is we'll get rid of your driver bar there for you, and we're going to switch over to some just random cars here and let you watch them go around the track. And while you can see the times, is we were talking to Jeff Dotson, as it was live on the stream. We have to keep an eye on those chase drivers here tonight. Steven Leffler, he needs to win to move on to the chase next week. And as you heard from Jeff Dotson himself, he needs to finish 3 spots ahead of Charles Smith. Right now, Charles Smith is your pole sitter as they run, so that is not what Jeff Dotson needs. He needs to reverse that role.
Right, and there's a lot of fast times coming in now. Steven Leffler knocked down to third place. Charles Smith down to second after Jason Allison took the pole again. You got John Estes up in fifth. I think that's his first posted time. Bruce Wright up to sixth, but knocks down Jeremy Horn down to seventh. And as you remember last week, he dominated at Bristol, so we're gonna have to see if he can do the same thing this week.
Yeah, he had a fantastic run there, dominating the race, led the most laps, so you can never complain about leading the most laps and coming home into victory lane. But I think we're going to have a battle here between those top 3. Definitely top 2. You look at Jason Allison and then Charles Smith, they are separated by .003. If they continue that trend throughout the race, that is going to be a very good race to watch. And I hope everyone out there will enjoy that one, as they just got nailed on pit road.
Right, and having close times like that can breed really, really nice, clean side-by-side racing and battling for the lead constantly. So we could have a really, really good race on our hands with this, especially being a really fast track.
It could indeed, and we got about a minute 28, so we're going to step away to a quick commercial from one of our sponsors here while we have a minute, and we'll be right back here getting ready for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. All right, folks, we are back here. 25 seconds left, but those are just a little add-on time there. That is going to do it for qualifying. Jason Allison bringing home the Walls Beard Co. pole, starting spot number 1, and that is your pick here for tonight's race, so you may be onto something.
Can I say I know talent when I see it?
Well, if that's the case, you should have picked me for the win, but yeah, it looks like Jason Allison will be your pole sitter. Time has officially expired, so it is time to get down to the Walls of Beard Co. starting grid. We'll wait till they start rolling off to get to that, and with only 12 cars, I'll go ahead and run through that here for us. But again, your pick, Jason Allison, starting on pole. This is going to be some good racing here tonight, so thanks everybody for tuning in with us here tonight. So we're going to drop down to the bottom here, and we'll go ahead and go through it as we are going to switch over here to the front of the field and jump down. There it is. It is time for your Walls at Beard Co. starting grid, starting on row 1 with a 30.186 and the 28 of Jason Allison. On his outside is going to be the 12 of Charles Smith with a 30.188. Row 2 is going to be the 72 of Stephen Leffler and the 51 of Paul Cohen. Row 3 is going to be the 80 of John Estes and the 15 of Bruce Wright. Row 4 is going to be the 37 of Ronald Vincent and the 4 of Jeremy Horn. Row 5 is going to be the 3 of Jeff Dotson and the 31 of Michael Palmer. On row 6, rounding out the field here tonight, it's going to be the 33 of Mark Koshik and the 46 of Jim Whaley Jr. And, of course, 12 drivers here. That will do it for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. And I expect to see some really great racing. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. As always, if you're new here tonight, hit that subscribe button. If you like the racing, hit that thumbs up as well. Let us and all the drivers and sponsors know you appreciate what they do to bring this to you. And it looks like it's about time to get some racing started. Lights are off on the pace car. And Randy, since you are the new one here, you want to get them started here for this first start.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's line them up and get ready to go green flag race. And pace car dives off, and Jason Allison's going to set the pace. Coming to the green flag, and we got the green flag.
Green flag in here. Oh, good.
Jason Allison's got a good jump on second place. I can't see who that is. That would be Charles Smith, I do believe. Yep. With 72 of Stephen Leffler right behind him. They're starting to get a little bit in a single file line, but we're early on in the race. We could see a lot more happen here.
Oh yeah, they are definitely they're getting in two distinct lines now. So we got most of them on the bottom, but you do got those few that are up high. We'll see Stephen Leffler is on the outside. Charles Smith lost 2 spots already, back to 4th. So he's got his work cut out for him as he dropped to several spots. And very interesting to see as we're going to zoom in here. Your front 2 cars are the 2 picks for tonight's win. And right now, Stephen Leffler, he really needs to win, as we talked about earlier. He wins. He's in the chase. That is best case scenario for him. Charles Smith is doing what he needs to do, as he is 3 spots ahead of Jeff Dotson. So as they run, those 2 would be in the chase.
Ooh, we got the caution out. It looked like Bruce Wright caught the wall and spun out a little bit and collected the 14 of Jeremy Horn there.
He did indeed. We'll go back and let's take a look. What happened here to the 15 of Bruce White? You said he hit the wall, so we're going to see if he had any help or if he did it all by himself. They were zigzagging back and forth, so we'll see what happened. Yeah, that wall is very treacherous too. You got to be very careful, and there he is right there into it. And as you said, collects the 14, and just around he goes, and it looks like Jim Whaley Jr. in the 46 got a piece of the action as well.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Jim Whaley Jr. get collected, but I see it now. So,
yeah,
quite a bit of damage on all those cars. We'll see if they can recover from that. I don't know if they have fast repairs in the league or not.
I believe they do. I believe if you look under the info, you may be able to see that. I believe they do have a fast repair. I'm not certain on that, though.
Yep, they do have one fast repair.
All right, so one fast repair. I thought they did. So these guys, of course, Jim Whaley Jr., Jeremy Horn, and Bruce Wright, they're going to go in there and probably use those fast repairs. Jason Allison, though, doesn't need to use his. He's out front leading this race here. As right now, of course, so we'll take a look at our cautions. That is our first caution here. 2 laps under caution. We're on lap 4, 131 laps left to go. We still have plenty of racing to go. So I expect to see some good racing happen. These guys kind of got to get in their groove before they can really, settle down. And once they do that, we will go green for a long time.
Oh, for sure. Once they find where they're comfortable running, and you'll see, and they get a little bit more spread out, you'll see a lot of clean racing.
Yeah, and we've seen it over and over again. They have to kind of find the line that's good for them. To each person, there's a line they like, and you kind of got to get into that lane. If it's not where you're starting, then you've got to fight the car because you want to get into a different lane that you're not in. So a lot of things can happen before you get into that lane, and that's what probably happened there. Is maybe he wasn't happy with the line or not, but something definitely wasn't right there. And yeah, let's see if we can't actually hold on. That we got lights off, so we'll try to grab him on the next caution.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna get a quick word in with Jeremy Horn, but just realized the lights were off, so they're going green this time. Actually, he's in pit road anyway, but we'll see if we get another caution. We'll definitely pull him in and see what might have happened there.
Right, and it looks like he might have gotten a speeding penalty or something. I'm not seeing. He's still on pit road. He's coming out right now. He's on pit road for 20 seconds, so he might have gotten a penalty. He might have taken more gas.
Yeah, and definitely, being that it is a gas mileage game, wouldn't hurt to take an extra splash of fuel, as he now has 0 laps on those tires. So he's got some fresher tires and a splash of fuel. We'll see if he we'll talk to him if he can later, if he got a penalty or if he just went in. Either way, what we do know for a fact here tonight is the pace car is about ready to peel off, and there it goes. And it looks like Jason Allison's getting them geared up and going already. Green flag back in the air. We are racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jason Allison out front, but here comes John Estes on the outside. And I think John Estes really wants to take the way that lead from him.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 51 of Paul Cohen is looking. He's looking high. He's looking low constantly. He's trying to get his way up there, back from the 4th position right now.
He is indeed, and we'll take a look here. Charles Smith all the way back to 8th place right now. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but he has went from 2nd to 8th. Well, he went in the pit stop there. He was not involved in a caution, but he has made a pit stop so far for 18 seconds. So that is why he's back, and now he's up to 7 now. He has got a rocket ship underneath him the way he's passing people right now.
Oh, for sure. Maybe he just needed to make a couple adjustments. Didn't like the car was handling, so he had to make a couple quick adjustments. A little bit ago, right after I was talking about Paul Cohen, I seen the 51 and the 80 of John Estes and Paul Cohen. They were door banging on the backstretch right there, and the 80 of John Estes definitely lost some spots because of it.
He did indeed. And it looks like the 80 is going to lose a few more spots here, as it looks like the 37 is going to get by him. Again, the 37 is Ronald Vincent, and I think he's going to clear him. He hadn't quite done it yet, but he's definitely trying to clear him. We'll see if he's able to, but we're going to jump back up here to the front real fast. Stephen Leffler in 3rd. Michael Palmer up in 2nd, and he's got a good run on Jason Allison right now, so he's going to take it to the inside and see if he can get by him. But Jason Allison doing a good job of keeping that spot at 1st.
Yep, and these guys are cruising around this track, so they're doing approximately 175 in the corners, all the way up to 183 in the backstretch. So I expect to see some early green flag pit stops if they're going to keep driving this hard into it. This track is known to eat tires, so I'm kind of curious as to how quick we're going to see green flag pit stops for this.
Yeah, they have been known. You and I talked to these drivers earlier and got a fuel and tire window, and it looks like from what they were saying, we're probably going to run these tires out till the fuel. So I think it's going to be a fuel game, which means if these tires are wearing off bad, as they're going 3 wide right now, battling back here, Jeff Dodson getting in the mix, but if these tires fall off like we think they are and they run it out to the fuel, they're going to have to baby these cars because they are going to get really loose and they're going to be a handful.
Most definitely. I'm really curious as to see how much time fall off we'll get with them to versus what they're running now on fresh tires. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and let everybody know as the time comes.
And right now it looks like Steven Leffler is going to fall way back as Ronald Vincent, Jeff Dotson, Paul Cohen are going to get by him. So Leffler falling back quite a bit here as we'll take a look at him. He started third. He's back to 6th. So we've had quite a few drivers already that have started up high and have fallen back very quickly. And he did not pit. However, Charles Smith up to 2nd. He did pit. He was in 8th. Now he's up to 2nd again as he's knocking at the back door of Jason Allison.
And he's running faster times than Jason Allison right now. His last time was a 5.69 and Jason's was a 6.30. So maybe having those fresher tires is giving him a little bit of an edge on everybody to get through and gain some time on everybody.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if that was his strategy to go in and pit, get off of the strategy with the rest of these guys, and then by doing that, he did qualify 2nd, if I recall correctly. We'll pull that up. He did. He qualified 2nd, so Jason Allison was a little bit faster than him. So if he knows that, I'm wondering if he deliberately pitted off cycle from them so that he would have those fresher tires compared to the rest of them from about 4 laps difference. That would give him a little bit of an edge on those newer tires and maybe the speed he needs to possibly get by Jason Allison and win this race.
Right, and hitting early like that 4 laps into the race, it definitely puts you back further, but looking at the long end of the run, you could have a lot more time built up on everybody with the fresher tires, and the last lap's really the only one that matters.
Yeah, and right now, Jim Whaley Jr. on pit road for 11 laps now, so he pitted. The worst he could possibly fall back is 11th position. So it's not like he lost, 25 positions or something. He did not lose very many. So he had a very good call, and if that was his decision making. But looking behind him, he's got the 37 of Ronald Vincent. He is coming very quickly. He started 7th. He's up to 3rd. And right now he's running 30.725. So he is a little bit slower, but now they lap in there 30.453 to a 30.493.
As I've seen a couple cars get collected in a wreck back there, but it doesn't seem that we're going to have a caution because of it. I've seen the 15 of Bruce Wright getting turned around, and someone else was in the air here.
I'm not sure who that was. Looks like Jeff Dotson is stopping on the track, and he is going to tow it to pit road. So Jeff Dotson, it looked like maybe that was right, the 3 and the 15 involved in that, but no caution coming out. Very surprising here on lap 17 of 134. So that caution is going to hurt Jeff Dotson. And unfortunately, being a lap down, that may seal his fate to be out of the chase.
Right, and there's still a lot of racing left to do. Was Jeff Dotson in the last wreck?
I believe he was.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure, but if he was, that could definitely ruin his night for tonight. But there's still a lot of racing left. Those guys did an awesome job of keeping it off the racing surface and not bringing out a caution tonight.
Yeah, I take that back. I'm not sure, actually. I'm thinking he was, but I'm not 100% sure. But right now, the fact that he towed is not going to be good. It makes me wonder if the car is just beyond repair or if he was involved and already had to use his fast repair. But either way, he towed under green flag. That's a minimum of 2 minutes. So he's going to go down about 4 laps as he's already down 3 before they even attempt to repair the car. So it's unfortunate. Again, if we get enough cautions, he might not be completely out of it. But here comes Jeremy Horn in the 14, He is trying to get up there and get the lead, and it is a drag race battle right now going on between the 28 and the 14.
For sure, and earlier on, Jeremy Horn was in that first wreck, so seeing him battling for the lead right now it's really nice because you see the fact that you can work your way back up after some tragic beginnings.
It is indeed. And Chuck Kemper, to answer the question in chat, is it a fixed set? I'm thinking it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it is a fixed setup. If you go to the information tab, Randy, can you tell us what the setup is identical to?
Mine says identical to baseline, so I'm not 100% sure if it is a fixed setup or not.
I'm thinking it is. It is a fixed setup. You might hop up there and ask Jeff Dotson, but I do believe it is a fixed setup here. We can definitely find out for sure.
Yeah, I think we should wait until the next caution for that one, and I'll go down and ask real quick.
Definitely, we don't want to serve too much. Jeremy Horn, as we're talking, takes the lead, but he's not secured it just yet. And it looks like he finally has. He's going to slide up in front of Jason Allison here coming out of the corner. Possibly. No. Jason Allison's going to battle back on the outside. He is not giving that up without a fight right now. And meanwhile, right behind him is Ronald Vincent, who's trying to get in there and take the lead from both of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say Ronald Vincent he's sitting back there just waiting for one of them to mess up and he can get another position or two out of them. Take the lead or take second. So he's definitely just waiting for his opportunity.
He is indeed, to see if he can get by them. It's, again, such a good battle up here at the front right now. We don't want to go too far back as we're not sure who's going to lead the next lap. Those two are just duking it out. Ronald Vincent behind him. Charles Smith, I'm not sure what happened there. He's got fresher tires, but he's fallen off just a little bit there as he's back down to fourth. He was in second, though, so something happened to him. He is just fallen off just a little bit. We'll look to see if he is possibly going to make another shot at this and see if he can get back up to second, possibly get first.
Right. And they're pretty spread out right now, from first to, I think that is seventh of the John Estes. And so other than three up front, we've got quite a range of motion from the field, I guess you could call it. And we do have a caution out right now, so get them closer together.
Caution is out for the 72 of Stephen Leffler. Let's go back and take a quick look. All right, and just got a confirmation from Bruce Wright in chat that it is indeed a fixed series. And not sure there. Looked like had another car going around. I believe that was Mark Koshik that went in the grass, but it had no bearing on Stephen Leffler's. Both of them just went around, but Mark Koshik was able to recover from it. Stephen Leffler, however, was not. Goes around and does save it, though, before getting into the wall, so a very good save for him.
Right, and there was another car coming up, so that was what brought the caution out, as he was on the racing surface with other cars approaching. So it gives these guys a chance to get a little bit of time to recoup and figure out their strategies now.
Yeah, and this will change it up, too, quite a bit, as we now have 11 cars currently on the track, as Bruce Wright is back 8 laps down, but he is on the track here fighting for every position he can. Jim Whaley Jr., the only car out of the race, as these guys are pulling down pit road, and you can see them there as our pit road camera. Every light is blinking. That means they have those pit limiters on to kind of govern their pit stall so they can't go too fast.
And I think the only person... Oh, Jeff Dotson stayed out, and Bruce Wright stayed out. That's the only people that are still on track. Everybody else pitted.
Going to be interesting, and that obviously those two are multiple laps down. Jeff Dotson's having connection issues. as he is 3 laps down. He's going to try to get a couple of these laps back here. But obviously pit road not open for him. So we'll see if they can get some of these laps back and get back on the lead lap. It would be great if they could, but we'll have to wait and see. We'd have to have several cautions for it to happen, but it is a very good possibility to happen here. So let's have to kind of look and see. Nobody's night is completely over until the checkered flag waves.
Right, and I'm scoring Jeff Dotson as 2 laps down right now, and at that very second he was in front of the pace, or the in between the pace car and the leader, so he could have gotten that last lap back, or one more lap back, so he would have been only 1 lap down. So I'm gonna go another lap down here. He's scoring him at 3 laps down right now, so he can definitely get it all back if with a couple more cautions.
That he can indeed. Then Jason Allison beat Jeremy Horn off pit road. He beat everybody off pit road. He is being scored as your leader. And if you look to the front here, you see the 15 Bruce Wright. He is sitting in front of these guys. Obviously, he is not the leader. He is 8 laps down, but he's about to get a wave around, so he can go 7 laps down. So he is on his way back to the lead lap. And again, if we have a couple of more cautions, he very well could get all his laps back. We'll see. 8 laps is quite a few to make up, but we've seen crazier things.
Right, I was just about to say I've seen it done. And looking at the times here, Jason Allison had a 17-second stop, and Jeremy Horn in second had a 27-second stop. So I'm thinking he only took 2 tires versus 4. We'll see if that can help him or hurt him on the start here.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching for it, and we'll see here if the lights are going to go off this time by. I'm not 100% sure if they are going to or not, as we'll go here. We're going to go look at our pace car real fast. There goes the wave around. Lights are off. So just for giggles here, we'll go this. We have a onboard camera here. We are running on the board, of course, with Jeremy Horn, as we are going to drop over to Jason Allison. He is running the T&D Rustic Decor onboard camera here tonight. We'll see if he can put it in victory lane. So he's doing a good job right now. So he'll represent them here with that, again, T&D Rustic Decor onboard camera. Again, if we get a chance, we'll talk to one of these drivers here, as we actually have Jason Allison in chat with us too while we're running on board with him here. But again, we'll see if we can't talk to one of these in the next caution here and see what their thoughts are. But the lights are off, so it seems like a good time here to go a little crank it up. So what do you say, Randy? You want to go crank it up style here on VRN?
I always love watching me some crank it up, so I think everybody else can agree. We'll crank it up.
All right, well, we are going to go radio silent for a few laps as they are getting ready to take the green, and we're going to go crank it up here on VRN. Green flag is in the air. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here from Crank It Up in VRN style. Getting some great racing already starting here. Jason Allison really has had a dominant race here. 25 laps led, followed by Jeremy Horn 7. Those are your only two leaders in the race so far. And right now, it doesn't look like Jason Allison has any ambitions of giving up this lead. But Jeremy Horn and Ronald Vincent may have something to say about it. But they've got to stop battling each other for second first if they want to start battling for first.
Right, and as we came back from Crank It Up, I seen the 15 of Bruce Wright did take it on pit road. He's been on pit road for about a lap now. So he is another lap down. He's up to 7 laps down. But just wanted to point that out. Track everybody. And we've got some good racing right now. A little bit spread out, but the top 3 have been pretty close, and they're battling for first.
He is indeed multiple laps down. Jeremy Horn and it's taken to the high side, but I think that's going to let Ronald Vincent get by him for a second position as we're watching that battle. That is the battle for second. And right behind him is Michael Palmer, someone we really haven't talked about a whole lot here. He started 10th, and he's worked his way up to 4th. Again, we really haven't talked too much about him. Kind of like a little silent ninja has worked his way to the front. And he may have something for the 37 of Ronald Vincent as he is right there all over his back bumper.
For sure, and that might have been part of his strategy for tonight. As Noah said last week, he wanted to start in the back and just avoid everything, and he got a 3rd place finish out of it. So definitely always a key factor in the strategy if you missed all the wrecks. And it
stinks we're missing Noah here. If he was in chat, that'd be cool to talk to him, but he is feeling better. We did get a confirmation on that. Feeling better, but out of town this week, so he couldn't be here. So, that always stinks for him that he can't be here racing. But the good news is he is feeling better, so that is a plus. What a battle it is up front here as Jeremy Horn still all over Jason Allison. And behind them, as we're going to zoom out here, go back down to Paul Cohen, who's got his hands full with Charles Smith right now. Sorry, that is not Charles Smith. Charles Smith is a little back. That is actually the 3 of Jeff Dotson that's battling him, but he is actually 3 laps down at the moment.
Right, and he's trying to get his laps back the hard way, and he's trying to get up in front of the leaders. And he's got 10 laps on these tires, so he's on schedule with everybody else. But if they're a little bit fresher, maybe he can try and fight to get that lap back.
Yeah, he is indeed, as we're talking to Chuck in chat. Yes, Chuck, he's a silent ninja. Trying to sneak his way up to the front. But, it's a good little way. You got to fight to get up there. There's some really good drivers in this league. And this isn't typically, we talk about it every week, but these aren't typically run here on ovals. These cars are intended for road courses, so to put these things on an oval, it's not like it makes them hard to drive. They're still fairly easy to drive, but it's just not what they're originally intended to do. So it makes it a little interesting and also kind of fun to watch.
Right, and it kind of, we've got is that Jeff Dotson spinning around in turn 2?
It is indeed the 31 of Michael Palmer going with him. So let's go back and take a look. All right, let's take a look here. Jeff Dotson on the track right now. What happened to him? As we'll see here, something did go drastically wrong. Again, Michael Palmer in the 31 also involved in this caution. Oh, Jeff Dotson just broke it loose. And the 31 just an innocent victim of a little bit of a netcode there as they were inside each other's cars for a minute. So the 31 of Palmer had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that can really suck. I mean, you're on you're on older tires and you try to overdrive it, and it definitely be a bad thing.
It can indeed, and it does. It definitely suck to get caught up in something like that. It's one thing if you're wrecked by yourself, but to just have nowhere to go, you feel helpless when that happens, and it happens more times than you would like. Speaking of Chuck, we were talking to him earlier today in another race he was in that 5,000 subscriber race. It got incident point out of the race. Hit his 18 limit, no fault of his own. Got collected in other people's mistakes, and ended up costing him a chance at the win, as he had a great shot of doing it. So stuff like that happens quite often, and it's just completely out of your control.
Right. And while we got a little bit, I think we should bring Jeremy up here and see how he's doing after the first wreck, and what his plans are for the rest of the race here.
All right, let's see if we can. If we can find him. I don't even see him in chat. There he is. Jeremy Horn, you got a copy.
10-4, I got you.
Well, we just wanted to pull you here to the booth real fast, get a quick a few questions with you here while you're running the onboard camera course, sponsored by T&D Rustic Decor. So, we saw you earlier there in the race getting a little tangled up, but you're back here in second. So, we've seen quite a few cautions. Has that changed your strategy for this race, or are you just keeping it what you had and just trying to keep it clean?
I'm just trying to keep it clean for now. I mean, losing my fast repair there that early is a big setback. I'm safely into the next round. I won last week, so that got me into the championship round, but really like to get this win here and, go into Pocono on a high. So we're just going to ride easy behind Jason, and we still got a long way to go. We still got 92 laps left, so we'll just see what we can get here at the end.
Yeah, it looks like right now as they run, I believe Charles Smith would be the one of them in the chase with you. So, if you had your pick, is there one you think you stand the best chance in? You hate to put them on the spot, but it's kind of like Survivor on, if you've seen that show, of course. You kind of set yourself up, to go against someone you think you can beat. So is there one of those drivers you think you'd rather have there that you think you stand the best chance against?
Either one of those guys would have been a good battle, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want CB to get up there because I think he deserves it. He's been running with me all season long, and I think Jeff just pretty much got knocked out right there of any hope of getting in. So it looks like it's going to be me and CB, but we'll see if we can go put a good show on tonight, and then hopefully in Pocono give CB a little whooping.
Well, there you go. Get him in there, get some competition, and then go putting the hurting on him in the championship round. So any quick shout out you want to give before we get you back down to your race channel?
I just want to thank RTRL for putting this thing on, you for broadcasting. It's not a whole lot. You see cars like this Corvette here on ovals, and it's a fun time with these guys. And of course, thank everybody out there that's watching this tonight.
All right. Well, with any luck, we'll see you in the post-race show in the top 3. We'll let you get back to your channel there. But again, that was Jeremy Horn running the number 14. A quick word with him, obviously brought to you by T&D Rustic Decor on-board camera here tonight, as we will get back to our main camera here. He's running second right now, and I think he has a really good shot at getting this, although Jason Allison has been very fast and led 36 laps here tonight.
Right, and definitely had a good race. Jeremy Horn's knocking on the door, though. As you recall, last week he led almost every lap last week, so he's definitely got something figured out, and he's been running the high line. He's fast, so you definitely expect some competition out of him.
He is, and Jason Allison getting a huge jump as the green flag comes back out. As we'll take a look here, we currently have 90 laps to go, so less than 100 to go. 3 cautions for 11 laps. Excuse me, losing my voice there a little bit, but it looks like Jason Allison has some competition, as out of nowhere, once again, Charles Smith up to the front, and he is going to lead this lap, I do believe. That will be his first lap led if he can do it. And they are right there at the line, and I don't think anybody's going to hold them back. He does indeed lead the lap. Charles Smith leading his first lap of the race. Again, we'll take a look here at his thing. He did start second, but he's in first right now, and he has led one official lap. So will he hang on to the lead, and how long will he do it?
For sure, and Ronald Vincent is definitely looking to make some moves too. He was up there for a little bit. He's fallen back a little bit now, but he was up there running with Charles for a little bit there. I think he might have pushed him to the lead. And there looks like they're trying to go 3 wide into 1 here.
I believe they're going to try it here. We'll see. Jason Allison is back out front, but very interesting there. Charles Smith literally led 2 laps and then went right back to third. I'm not sure if that was part of something here, maybe a little agreement there, possibly. I don't know for sure.
Maybe you get a couple bonus points for leading the lap or something like that. He's one of them that's trying to get into the chase, correct?
Yes, he is, and you do get a bonus point for leading a lap. So I'm wondering if Jason Allison may have worked something out with him, or he worked it out with Jason Allison to let him lead that lap. Although, Jeff Dotson's still on pit road, 10 laps down now. So I'm not sure it would have been that big of a deal, but again, every bonus point you can get is good to get you into the chase. However, once we get to the chase, points are reset. It's whoever finishes the best wins the championship.
Oh, most definitely. You don't want to have a huge lead, kind of give it away to somebody. But we've talked about it a couple times tonight, and I was in the middle of trying to bring it up when that last caution came out, but you don't see this too often with the Corvettes on the ovals, and it definitely it kind of hits in the nostalgia, because it reminds me so much of when NASCAR would run the IROCs on like Talladega and stuff like that. So it's just really interesting to see these get run.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen IROC. I'm not even sure. Do they even run IROC anymore?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they do, but kind of like a hey, we're gonna try something new, and I think it would have been cool if it would have stuck.
Yeah, definitely would have been cool. And while we have some battling going on here, we want to watch this here. We may hold off on that, as we might have a battle for the lead. It looks like that's kind of fizzled out, but we do want to remind everyone, of course, real fast, of all the upcoming broadcasts. Tomorrow, of course, we have the RaceCore Xfinity Series on Sunday night. And I believe the No Excuses Sim Series, their short track series, which is another throwback series. The old trucks running on the short tracks, how they used to be, is going to be running a little race looking as a recruitment race. So if anyone's looking to get into that, they can do that. But again, that is what's coming up, and we'll possibly be covering that one. We'll let you know more later on Facebook, so make sure you check that at facebook.com/virtual racing network. Jason Allison out front, and he is not looking back again, as it seems though the longer we get into these runs, the better he gets.
Right, and Ronald and Jeremy were definitely pushing for to try and get up there to first, but I think Jason's just found a line that he's comfortable with, and it's definitely faster.
And indeed, and I'm assuming that is that they do not run IROC anymore. It's a shame. The IROC was a fun series, so that's what kind of makes this one fun. And we'll see if that is a confirmation on that. But Ronald Vincent still running third place right now. He is right there. He's still not, I don't know if he's right up there with these guys, but he's definitely hanging in there for third place. There looks like Jason Allison may be pulling away. He's got a .166 second lead over second, and now a .133. So it looks like Jeremy Horn is slowly but surely getting that, and now it's going to drop to .233. So Jason Allison actually pulling away in 3 and 4, but losing time in 1 and 2.
Right, and I'm really liking the outcome of this race so far. Last week at this point, we were seeing Jeremy Horn miles ahead of everybody else, and we got some close racing here. It could go any way here tonight.
It could be anybody's game. So we'll take a look at our top 5. It is Allison, Horn, Vincent, Smith, and Cohen. Again, those top 4, we've been talking about them all night long. They definitely have a shot to win this race. But one we haven't talked about, that is Paul Cohen back in 5th position. We haven't talked about him hardly at all. But he, again, is just maybe a little sleeper back there, and he's ready to come to life as they're passing the 15 of Bruce Wright to put him now 19 laps down. But he's just kind of hanging in there, being real quiet about moving through the field. As he did start 4th, he's down to 5th, so he has lost one spot since the start of the race. But he has progressed since the last green flag, or last pit stop. That wasn't a green flag.
Sure, maybe he's just sitting back there, just waiting for his second, and it's like a shark, just planning his attack.
And that's exactly what you got to do sometimes. You know, get them when they're least expecting it, as they're really single-filed out here, so not a whole lot of going on. Let's go back to Jeremy Horn here, and we'll go on board with him real fast, as we'll go to the roll bar camera again. Onboard camera here, sponsored by T&D Rustic Decor. Actually, we're going to switch over to the cockpit view as we're watching him try to run down Jason Allison. And then you can hear, it looks like sounds like he's scuffing the tires a little bit as he's going to try the high side on the backstretch. Jason Allison's running way down low, and then he'll venture down there with him. And he is definitely hanging in there, but I'm just not sure he's got the speed he needs in the line that Jason Allison is running to actually pass him for the lead.
Right, and earlier I was listening to the guys on Race Chat, and they said these cars are a little bit low, and they do bottom out a little bit. But looking at the times here, Jeremy Horn holds the fastest lap of the race today, and he earned a 30.030. Jason Allison's best lap of the night is a 30.487. So there's a huge gap in there, but they're also running 5.66 and 6.04 lap times right now. So there's definitely some fall off, and we could expect to see Jeremy might be just waiting, like he said earlier in the interview, that waiting for his time.
And that last lap, 30.575 for both Allison and Horn. They ran the exact same time on that last lap. That is very interesting to see. You don't see that very often, as we'll see what they do on this next lap, as they're going to come across the line right there, and it's going to be a 5.27 for Allison and a 5.23 for Jeremy Horn. So Horn was a little bit faster that time.
Yeah, you might be trying to get up there now after this little bit longer of a green flag run. I think we've had about 20 laps on this stint, so you might be seeing he can try and make a move now that we're going green flag for a while, and now that they're single file, we might be going green flag for a long while.
And we had mentioned it once they got kind of into their groove, that they would really start to get green flag runs, and that's exactly what's happening now. If they have had 20 laps on these set of tires, and we have about 20 more before they have to pit, so these tires will get a little bit more worn, but I'm not seeing any drastic fall off as far as speed, so nothing major happening there. As we'll go through the field here to see if we can find any battles going on, and really nothing going on. Everyone's single file out for the most part.
Right, we've got a couple stragglers back a ways, but for the most part, we've got everybody in a line here, and they're just thinking that everybody's thinking the same thing. That we've got a long race ahead of us, and wait to make moves until the end.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great racing still ahead of us. So we will take a look here while we're watching our leader, Jason Allison, pull up our cautions. We've only had 3 cautions here for 11 laps, 71 laps to go. So we are nearing the halfway point here very soon. And again, we're running just about 2 laps a minute. You know, it seems like they take longer than that to get around this track, but they don't. It's 2 laps a minute roughly. So, you know, it's not going to take too terribly long, as we've only been here just over an hour, and of course 10 minutes of that was the pre-race show, so about an hour so far for half the race, so I would expect to see about 45 more minutes is all they'll be racing.
Right, I'm looking at it right now, and we're on 44 minutes of race conditions, so it's definitely, I don't know about the guys watching on YouTube or not, but it's definitely going fast for me.
Yeah, they're ticking away laps. It's going by very quick, and now that we've got this green flag run, it has really started to tick away at the laps. We're actually going to zoom out here a little bit and go back just a ways here, and you can see how spread out these guys really are. There's just not a whole lot of battle going on. These guys are into a groove, and they're just kind of settling in. They don't want to press anything too much. They know they're fixing to have to come up on a green flag pit stop here in roughly about 16 laps or so. It's just way too early in the race to be pressing any matters right now. So that's exactly what they are doing. Just kind of sitting back and biding their time.
Right, and I was looking at the timing screen here a second ago, and other than Jeremy Horn, everybody behind him is spread out about 0.3 of a second, so there's quite a distance in between everybody. But Jeremy Horn is like 1/10 behind, 2/10 behind, so he's still right there to make a move. But there's enough safe distance in there if something were to happen.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. You want a cushion, but you don't want a cushion. That's exactly what you want. That padding, whatever you want to call it, you want that padding. As it looks like your front four have kind of regrouped it here again and trying to go at it one more time. And again, we're getting close to pit stops here shortly. Jason Allison out front once again. And here comes Jeremy Horn. He's still not done. He's going to try to make something happen, and I think he really wants to run the outside lane. I just don't think it's there just yet.
We do have Paul Cohen. He just entered pit about 10 seconds ago, so there's the first of our green flag pit stops for right now.
It's very interesting here that they're going to break it up into about 30 lap segments instead of 40, which is what we thought they could get. And again, that was you talked to them, and that's what they were saying, 40, correct?
Correct, that is what they were saying, but Paul Cohen is going to go a lap down here. We'll see if that's going to be able to get back to him, or if he's going to stay a lap down, because he definitely was a contender for the win. He was running 5th, and he was making good time, so hope he can get back on the lead lap here after everybody gets done pitting.
Yeah, and looking here, is 65 laps to go, so they could try to break this last stint into 2 stops here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But so far, nobody else is coming in just yet. So I'm wondering if maybe Paul Cohen scraped the wall or something. But we'll know more here if these other guys start to come in. But right now, it doesn't look like they have any intentions of coming in. And Paul Cohen's actually been on pit road for 58 seconds. As we'll take a look here on pit road. I don't see any significant damage, but he's been there well over what his pit stop should have been.
Right. That really stinks because he was running good and he had a chance. He really did. So he's 2 laps down. Or 3 laps down right now. It says. So see if we can make it. If he can make it back. If we get a couple more cautions.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I agree with Chuck. I was reading chat there. You know, it almost is. The way he's out there, it looks like he needs somebody pushing him to get by on the outside, as it's almost like you need drafting help here with these cars. So something has got to help him get by, and now they got the 15 out there with them. They're going to get by him pretty easy, so no major any issues there. He's going to let him by, and he's just right there. He's on the outside, Jeremy Horn on Jason Allison, but he just can't get by. He has been trying over and over again, and it's just not working. We'll see when pit stops happen. We'll see if anyone makes a mistake or if he can get by him on pit road possibly.
Right, and it may take a gamble and not take tires and just fuel just to get him to the end, and that could help him. It could hurt him. He'd be running slower lap times than everybody, but if he gets out long enough, if it's closer to the finish, he could possibly win it just based off of that.
He could indeed. And a big shout out to John Winkler in chat with us here now. Again, it's anybody's guess here. I still don't want to 100% say that Jason Allison has this wrapped up, because he doesn't. But we do want to say, though, 60 laps to go. We're over the halfway point now. And it came and went very quickly here as we are actually well over the halfway point. And, 60 laps, if we stay green, that's roughly about 30 minutes left of racing as they're doing 2 laps a minute. So this race will be over very quickly at the pace they're going.
For sure, and being spread out, you're going to have more chance to get green flag laps in. So I would expect to see this thing go green. I'd be willing to put money on it.
Yeah, definitely. I would too. Again, only 3 cautions, I believe, for 11 laps is what it said. But we are just ticking away right now. Again, there's just not a whole lot of racing action going on. This is probably the best battle right now for first. So we'll kind of go through the field here and see what we can find. But there's just really nothing going on here at the present time as everybody is really spread out. Jeff Dotson, however, is back out on the track 22 laps down. Bruce Wright on the track right now, 27 laps down. Paul Cohen still on pit road. John Estes back in 8th position, is the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I can't remember how many cars we started with, but usually expect to have a couple cars not be on the lead lap in these league races with something happening. So you'll definitely have a smaller field than what you started with.
Yeah, you definitely will. We started with 12, and we currently have looks like 10 on the on the track right now. There's 10 cars on the track. 2 of them are out. Paul Cohen on pit road. Jim Whaley Jr. out of the race. And like I said, I think 22 laps down, Jeff Dotson's his chances of moving to the chase unfortunately have ended. I think we can pretty much say that for sure. As there are more than 22 laps to go, but it would require caution after caution in order to get him back on the lead lap. So I think we can say with about 80% chance or certainty that Jeff Dotson's chances are done here tonight.
I mean, unless all these guys got a really early bedtime, I would agree with that.
Well, I'm sure he's wishing they did. And really the only one he needs is Charles Smith to have a early bedtime. But we've seen him up later than this, and he is trucking forward right now in 4th place. And that's one thing, too. The pressure's off of Charles Smith right now. Yes, he'd love to get the win, but, like I said, he would literally have to wreck out of this race right now in order for Jeff Dotson to pass him. And even then, I don't know, with only 2 other cars back there, I don't think he would finish 3 spots ahead of him. So I think that may bump that spot up to about 90% chance, as I think Charles Smith is sitting really good to move on to the chase. So we'll just have to keep an eye and make sure nothing drastic happens to him.
Right, you might want to take it easy with that W with your broadcaster's curse and everything, so...
That is very true. We have to keep it on. I hate to say it, I did pick Stephen Leffler, and he had an incident earlier, but he has bounced back. He's in 5th place right now, and he is doing a fantastic job running 5th. Started 3rd, so he's trying to get back to the front where he started.
Right, and after all the incidents in this race, the field is pretty much set. We got a lot of smoke I saw. I don't know what that's from, but we got a lot of incidents, and I think the field is pretty much set for the chase right now. And as you said earlier, the points are going to reset. So right now, as of this moment, they're just racing for fun, which is good. Always a good time to have, just relax and have fun.
Yeah, these guys out there, obviously Jason Allison, he only races here and there, so he is not in the chase, but he's out there just Sunday cruising it right now. And Bruce Wright just letting us know that smoke you saw was his engine blowing up.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was just dust or something, but yep, that looks like could have been motor.
Well, as we like to say, he's in pit road smoking some hot dogs out there. But it's unfortunate, Bruce. You had a run earlier today in that 500 subscriber race. Had a good run going here And just unfortunate. Great driver. Are way out of the race way too early here. Looks like he's going to be there for quite some time. And Steven Leffler coming down pit road.
Oh, okay. So there's some pit strategy coming in. The lap 85 here. We got 50 laps to go. Maybe he can make it on just this one stop. We'll have to see what's going to happen.
Well, again, if they could make it 50, he definitely could do it here. We'll pull that up real fast. Exactly 50 laps to go right now, as he is going to go one lap down as the rest of these guys are staying out. So we're on lap 44 on this stint here. So these guys have got to probably come in soon. The question is, when are they going to come in?
Right, and being on lap 44, I'm looking at the times here, and I do not see a tenth, like even a thousandth of a second of fall off from having old tires. So we'll have to see what happen here.
And looking at times too, as they just go across the line, 30.474 for Allison. Horn, 30.440, so a little bit faster. Vincent, 30.455, so he's a little bit slower than these guys, but he is actually faster than Jason Allison, and so was Jeremy Horn. He is about every other lap he's faster than Jason Allison, but again, it just hasn't been able to get by him. Like Chuck was saying earlier in chat, I really think he needs somebody pushing him on the outside, or to maybe push him and get his nose underneath Jason Allison if he wants to get up there. He very well could be just kind of biding his time right now until that last run.
Right, and I just want to point something out here. I'm looking at the times, and we haven't talked too much about him, but we did talk about him a little bit. Michael Palmer just ran a 30.192 compared to everybody else's 30.4s. So I'm really curious as to if he's just hanging behind somebody, getting some air, and seeing what he can do with this, because that can be huge. I mean, that was 0.3 of a second that he could be catching up to people.
Yeah, and not only keep in mind, this is a very interesting point that you brought up. I didn't even notice it, but not only was that his fastest lap there, that was his fastest lap of the race.
Right. We did have Charles Smith just hit as well, so he's a lap down right now.
He is indeed a lap down. He is coming out of pit road, but one lap down will definitely hurt him. I don't think we're going to see the caution, but if we do, that would definitely hurt him. As once everyone pits, that should cycle him back to the front here on that lead lap. But we're on 48 right now. If they can get 40 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel, 50 max, these guys have got to come in soon. They're on lap 49 right now of this stint.
Right, and we've got 5 cars on the lead lap. 6 cars on the lead lap. So, and I think we're looking at them all right now. So, you can see some really weird pit strategies coming. Wait for Jason to go in, or to kind of just pit on their own and try to beat him out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what they do. They're on lap 50 right now. Nobody has come in. Okay, and just a note on that, lap 50 on this stint, not lap 50 in the race, as they're on lap 92 right now in the race. We have 43 laps to go. So obviously we know one thing for sure, 43 to go. They have been on this track 50 laps, so we know they can make it on fuel if they pit now. Obviously they've run longer than that, so these guys that have pitted already, Charles Smith, Steven Leffler, Leffler is 2 laps down now, but we know those two, if they can get their laps back, especially Charles Smith, he can make it on fuel. He has a good shot now.
He definitely does. So if these guys I bet they start pitting within 5 laps here. It wouldn't surprise me if they start pitting around lap 100, I should say. That's my bet. I'm going to bet that they start pitting around lap 100. Have some fresh tires for the end. Try and run everybody down.
I'm just, I'm a little leery that how many they can lap. I'm thinking they're going to come in the next lap or two. I don't think we're going to make it to lap 100, but then again, I have been wrong before, so we'll see if these guys can make it. But right now, 94 laps completed at the line here. 53 laps on this stint for your top 3 or 4 drivers. 52 for 5th and 6th. Right behind them, the first car that has pitted, that is him right there, the 12 of Charles Smith. And he would take the lead when these guys come in, assuming we don't get a caution first. If a caution comes out, that is really going to mess up some strategies.
Right. I mean, Charles would get the lucky dog, but it'd still put him back in 7th position. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, now we're getting into some lap traffic, so there could be a caution. Who knows?
Yeah, it looks like our leader, the 28, is all over the back bumper. The 80, that is John Estes, who was the last car on the lead lap. He is now a lap down, so now only 5 cars on the lead lap. But again, these guys have got to come down pit road soon, so they'll could get those laps back. As we'll see, it's not going to be this lap. 55 laps on this run, and we may be looking closer to the 100 lap mark where I thought they'd come in.
Right. I mean, watch them surprise us. Watch them run the rest of the race. I'm not. That'd be pretty miracle. That'd be a miracle, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if they can make it on the tank of fuel that far. They very well could. We did not get a chance to get a fuel run here, so we'll definitely have to keep a very close eye. And obviously, what we do know here is when it comes to fall off, 30.082 was the fastest for Jason Allison, 30.477 on that last lap. So fall off is basically minimal to none when it comes to speed. As it looks like Jason Allison is going to lock him up, and he's coming down, and he is really locking those tires up trying to get to pit road.
Well, I think he made it in time to where he wasn't going to be speeding, so
And
clear to go.
He is clear, not using his rev limiter, his pit limiter here. That is interesting, as he is going to come down and pull it into a pit road, get some fresh tires and fuel, and he had to back it up on pit road.
Been in the stall for a couple seconds now, and I've seen Jeremy Horn come around at least once. So yeah, Jason Allison is 1 lap down. Everybody else is. We've got 4 cars on the lead lap, so we'll see them start pitting. I bet Jeremy pits right here for me for the lap 100 thing.
Yeah, he definitely needs to pit. I think he can't get too separated from Jason Allison. You kind of want to pit a route when he does, but it's not going to happen. He's staying out. So your top 3 cars so far are almost on lap 60 right now. 59 on the stint for Jeremy Horn, Ronald Vincent, and 58 for Michael Palmer, as these guys are not coming in. And again, we don't know the fuel window, but it's got to be soon. Obviously, if Jason Allison has already come down pit road, and he is going to come onto the track and regain full speed, but he is back in 6th place, 2 laps down.
Right, and while you were talking, Mark Koshik did pit, and he did go a lap down. He wasn't 3rd. He wasn't 4th. He's now in 5th because Charles Smith passed him, and he's still a lap down. So Charles Smith and Mark Koshik are on the same lap, but they're going to be spread out for 4th and 5th. And
Michael Palmer coming down pit road as well. So he will take his pit stop here. What will be the last pit stop of the race?
Here comes Jeremy Horn. That leaves Ronald Vincent to be the last one to pit. So I would expect to see Ronald come down pit road this time after everybody has already pitted.
Yeah, he almost has to. And again, it was surprisingly enough, nobody came down together. I figured we would see somebody try to come down when somebody else came down, not to separate, but the brakes were hit there.
Yep, and here he comes off the track. He's coming into pit road this time.
He is indeed locking it up here, getting the brakes on. He's already on the rev limiter, so he is obviously not going to be speeding on pit road. And surprisingly enough, this will give the lead so far back to Jeremy Horn, who is being scored as the race leader. Charles Smith under power, full speed on the track. we'll see. I thought Charles Smith may have tried to get the lead back here. He is on the lead lap, but he's not the leader.
Jason Allison just passed Jeremy Horn, so he's going to be back on the lead lap as well.
What a race so far. Trying to figure out where everyone's going to be sorted out here, as it looks like Jeremy Horn is going to maintain the lead. However, he did get passed, like you said, by basically everybody here. So 6 cars back on the lead lap, and Jason Allison, who led 88 laps, is right now back in 6th position.
Right, and maybe pitting early wasn't a great idea, but it's a gamble. Pitting on green flag is always a gamble.
It is definitely a gamble. And right now, we'll check in with your leader, who is Jeremy Horn, and we're getting really close. We're about 10 laps away from the 20 to go mark. Jeremy Horn has led 12 laps, so he hasn't led the most, but he has proven all race long that he definitely has a car that can win this race.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Jason has cinched up the... we do have a caution.
Oh! And it gets the leader, Jeremy Horn. That was Jason Allison, too. Though, we got to go back and take a look at that one. I am not sure what happened there, but Jason Allison went for a ride. Something drastically went wrong.
Sure. And I seen Jeremy has quite a bit of damage on that left front now, so we'll have to see how bad that dampers him from being fast.
Allison gets into the outside wall and just gets nailed by Jeremy Horn, and Allison goes into the wall on the inside. So your 2 leaders that have led the most laps in the race, well, I'm not sure they're even going to be able to finish the race. It's a wonder either one of those cars can even drive right now. Jeremy Horn is coming into pit road, but that is going to really hurt his chances here tonight.
Yeah, I think Jason still has a fast repair, so I think he should be good, and it looks like he does. So as he's coming out of pit road now, yeah, it looked like Jason was trying to get off the track, so he wouldn't collect anybody, and I think Jeremy thought he was going to stay high as just a racing incident there.
Well, we have definitely got to get Jason Allison in here and talk to him. If you mind pulling him down here, as we'll go get on our onboard camera here. Here again, TNT Rustic Decor onboard camera with Jason Allison. As we'll pull him down here real quick. Jason Allison, you got a copy?
10-4.
Well, first off, glad you have that fast repair. Second off, how was that wild ride?
It was fun. I wasn't expecting him to kind of wobble up towards the high side where I was going, and next thing I knew, I was on the wall.
You got some air there as you were flipping a little bit there and ended up on your wheels. Thank goodness, so you were able to roll it back and not have to tow. You led 88 laps so far here, scoring you right now 1 lap down here in 7th. So assuming we get another caution, you should be the lucky dog, and we'll see if you actually may get the wave around here, possibly, as everyone is pitting in front of you, it looks like. But if you can get that lap back, you think you got a good shot at winning this?
I mean, if I can get the lap back, maybe, because, I mean, I was just kind of cruising there.
Yeah, it looks like everybody that's in front of you is a lap down. I just got to double check here. Nope. Ronald Vincent is not a lap down. He is the race leader.
Yeah, definitely everyone in front of him should be the first car lap down. But yeah, again, if you get that lap back, we'll see if you can get up there and battle for the lead once again. But it looked like you just scraped the wall. So did the car just get loose on you?
No, I actually went to dodge because he wobbled up the track a little bit on my screen.
Well, definitely not what you expected, I'm sure. But hopefully, again, we'll hope you get that lap back. Any shout-outs you want to give real fast before we get you back to the race channel?
I'd say VRN and RTRL for hosting the race, and VRN for doing the broadcast itself. Of course, ibog.co for doing the overlays for most of the broadcasters out there.
All right. Well, we'll definitely hope to see you here later in the race, and we'll get you back up to the race channel.
Moving forward, thank you.
All right, that was a quick word there with Jason Allison, obviously one of the sponsors here for VRN, does the overlays and animation here. But again, that was our onboard camera brought to you by T&D Rustic Decor. Make sure you check them out at tndrusticdecor.com for all your rustic decor needs. And we're getting ready to get this thing going green here shortly, as for the first time, Ronald Vincent out front. He has now led 4 laps.
He was out front for about a lap after Jeremy Horn pitted.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So he did lead some of there, but he has a good shot now. You know, you've got some really fast cars that have damage. Obviously, Jason uses fast repair, but he is currently back in the back, a lap down. Jeremy Horn on the lead lap, but he I don't know if he had a fast repair or not left, as it looks like he's got a clean car, but he is holding way back here. There he goes, waiting for the 80 to get by him. This may be a very good thing for Charles Smith, as he very well could get the win now. He was right there before, but just couldn't quite get it, but the green flag is out, so we'll see, can Charles Smith get the win here?
Yeah, it was a real heartbreaker for Jason and Jeremy. They both had really good cars all night, and it's sad to see him end the way it did for them.
Yeah, definitely not the way either one of them expected. We'll see if Jeremy Horn can get back up to the front. He's on the lead lap, so he's not completely out of this just yet. But we got some battling going on back here with Michael Palmer in the 31. He's all over the back bumper of the 33 of Mark Koshik, who we have not talked about much this race at all, but he is in 3rd place right now, and he is putting on a really good run. And of course, my pick for the race, Steven Leffler, currently in 4th, as he's had some ups and downs, but he is currently running 3rd or 4th, depending on what lap it is.
I think it's 4th he's running right now, so he can definitely has a chance being on that inside, pushing Ronald there.
Yeah, he does have a good chance here, and we'll see. He's trading it back and forth with the 33, but I think he's going to get shuffled out just a little bit on the high side, as the 31 is trying to get by him of Michael Palmer as well. But that's a good little battle going on, as obviously we just got the green flag again here, and we'll be at 20 to go in 2 laps. So Ronald Vincent out front, Charles Smith trying to get by, so is Mark Koshik, Steven Leffler, and Michael Palmer. Your top 5. 6-car, the last one on the lead lap, and he did not have a fast repair, as now we see the other side of Jeremy Horn. He has got quite a bit of damage.
Right, and it's definitely slowing him down, because he is doing about 160, while everybody else is doing 180. So it's definitely slowing him down, which is a real bummer for somebody who was dominating the race again there towards the end.
Yeah, it's such a good run. 13 laps led, 88 for Allison, 8 for Vincent, and fixing me 9 for Vincent. There it is, and 3 for Smith. So the 2 that probably have the best shot right now, I think, are Ronald Vincent and Charles Smith. And some of these guys may be conserving just a little bit, not fuels, and they don't really need to conserve tire wear. But, they're just conserving themselves at this point, waiting to, just hammer the gas down and run as hard as they can on those last 10 laps, as they're staying double file pretty much this entire time right now.
Right, and we got the last person on the lead lap is Jeremy Horn, but in front of him is Michael Palmer, and that he's going to be the last car on the lead lap that is in that group. So he's the last person that I could say has a real chance of taking the W tonight.
Yeah, he definitely is. Allison's right there in the mix of things. Obviously, he's looks like he'd be running about 5th, but he is that lap down. So, if we get another caution here, 20 laps to go right now, if a caution comes out, he's not involved in it, he would get his lap back. So he has the chance still. He's not out of this race, but he needs to get up there. And you can see him as he's flashing his lights there. That is an indication to the drivers in front of you that he is faster. He's running 30.6s. Jeremy Horn in front of him. These guys, actually Jeremy Horn's not in front of him, but these guys in front of him are running a little bit slower every once in a while, but not for the most part, as Allison's going to hit the wall.
Yeah, I think it was Leffler and Smith in front of him, so which Smith just got left out to dry, so we're going to go back to single file racing now.
We are, and that's not what he wants. He wants to have someone working with him, as we were talking about. Chuck mentioned it earlier.
Our leader just spun out.
That is not good. Caution is out, and we'll go back and see, where is he? Oh, and he is flipping. That is not good. Charles Smith upside down, and it looks like he is going to be possibly out of the race. He's definitely got damage. Let's go back and take a look. What happened to Charles Smith? Something went terribly wrong for him here. As we'll take a look. He was running up front, and then something happened. He just broke loose there and got clobbered by the 72 of Steven Leffler.
Yeah, and Leffler's still on the track. He's still driving, so he could still have a chance to win it too.
He could indeed, and that was a violent ride. As we'll look here, try to see what kind of damage. Steven Leffler is coming down pit road now. He is going to give it up and come down pit road. See, we got less than 20 laps to go here. We'll take a look. Try to do some math here. 16 laps to go. You look between Charles Smith, who's in 8th place, Jeff Dotson in 9th place. 23 laps difference between their position. So even though Charles Smith is out of the race, that will still Jeff Dotson's fate. Jeff Dotson is officially out of the chase. There is no way he can get by Charles Smith. Even if he came out onto the track, he wouldn't have enough time. But he is actually out of this race on pit road anyway. So the only thing that's really left at this point now is can Steven Leffler win it and be into the chase?
That would be pretty sweet to see. He's still on pit road, so he might go a lap down here. But Jason Allison back on the lead lap in 4th, Ronald Vincent in 3rd, Michael Palmer in 2nd, and Mark Koshik in 1st. The top 3 are people we haven't seen up front most of the night. So be a good finish here, I think.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see, as we'll see Steven Leffler coming down pit road, just leaving pit road now. Went on pit road for 59.6 seconds. So he went down pit road. Now he has fresh tires here. He's on the lead lap, being scored in 6th position. Will he be able to get up there? But the one thing I want to note here, while he's on pit road, that is Jason Allison. He is on the lead lap, but he's on pit road right now. We'll see if he gets off in time, as it looks like Charles Smith did have a faster pair here, so he is back on the track as well.
Yep, and if I'm Leffler, I would not have taken tires, which I'm guessing he didn't. I would have spent my whole minute there repairing damage. So I have a feeling he didn't take tires and he was just repairing damage after he had that big hit. So I'd expect to see him go in again if they're before 2 to green.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. Allison's still up. There goes Allison off pit road now, as he got some more damage repaired there. 47-second pit stop, so definitely got some damage repaired. So Allison on the lead lap, Leffler on the lead lap, Horn on the lead lap, Vincent on the lead lap. Those have been 4 fast drivers here tonight. What they're doing now, they're on the offense here. Is Mark Koshik is going to be on defense, leading in the number 33 machine. Can he hold these guys off here for the remainder of this race? As we now have 14 laps to go, going to be 13 to go when we get the green.
Yep, your pick of Jason Leffler Steven Leffler's sitting in 5th. Jason's catching the field right now. I think he's caught up now, but quite a few more people on the lead lap. I think we had 4 before, and now we've got 6, so got a couple more people back on the lead lap to try and race for the win here.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets the win. The million-dollar question is, will we have another caution? We very well could have a caution. We just don't know. But it is possible to see another one. You just don't know until it happens or doesn't happen. But this is go time here. 13 laps to the completion of this race. These guys are going to be pushing it for everything they have. We can make it on fuel. We can make it on tires. This is an all-out war here for first place now.
All right, we got the green flag out, and Mark Koshik takes the lead with Michael Palmer on his outside to in second right now.
He is, and we'll be keeping these guys. Jason Allison already making some moves early. Mark Koshik out front. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so you can get a better view of these here and let you know who is going to be where. As they're trying to make it 3 wide, but they settle for 2 wide here. And Jason Allison now up to 4th place. Steven Leffler in 3rd. And it looks like Allison is just going to blow by Steven Leffler like he's sitting still to take 3rd place.
I seen John Estes getting a little loose. I thought he was going to go around, but I guess he must have saved it.
He did not. He did go around. As we'll take a look, he is around, and I believe he is stuck in the fence right now, or the wall. Something happened as he is off the racing surface, but he did indeed go around.
Oh man, yeah, what an end to a night for him. I mean, he's had a bad luck night all night long, and that just puts a nail in the coffin for him tonight.
It does, and they're about to put him another lap down here, as he is a lap down, and there he is right there going a 2nd lap down, as they're going to get by him very quickly here. But back to the front, can Mark Koshik hold off the hard-charging Jason Allison? Allison to the outside. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold him off.
Oh, Mark Koshik's getting loose.
And he is going.
I think did he catch it off the line there?
He did indeed save it, but he's going to fall all the way to 5th position, and that will give the lead back to the 28 of Jason Allison here with 10 to go. Can Michael Palmer get by him? He's got a good shot at it. He's right there with him, and he's got some help pushing him from the 31. It looks like the 31 is going to go below the white line there a little bit.
Yeah, if you can go below the white line just a small amount, but if you get too far over it, like if you've got all of your left side tires on that white line, you're going to go around, because it creates air underneath the car and it kind of lifts it a little bit. It's almost like it's taking flight.
Yeah, you definitely do not want that to happen at all. But that was a very nice save for the 33 of Mark Koshik. While it cost him some spots, it didn't cost him a race here completely. I don't think he'll be able to win now, 9 to go, unless we get a caution. Again, if we have a caution before, if we're on lap 6 or before, we could possibly go racing again. But we have to have it before then, and we're on lap 8 right now. Allison out front, and he's been out there so long, 91 laps out the front of this race. Everybody is trying to figure out, what can I do to get by him?
Right, and I think after he started in the back there and charged his way to the front, I think people are just going to try and find ways but not be too aggressive, because he's kind of proven that he's got the fastest car out there right now.
Yeah, he definitely is the fastest car out there. 30.661 for that last lap, 30.675 for Michael Palmer, and a 30.707 for Vincent. As Vincent and Palmer really shaking it up right now. They're trading spots, but I think that 31 may have something for him here as he gets into the grass. That is the 31 of Palmer. He's going to lose a little bit of time after getting into the grass.
Right. I think the real battle for this race is going to be for second. I think Jason, he's got a good line that he could, if he can hold it, I think he's got a shot at winning it with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, going to be 5 at the line. Allison out front. He, again, is your race leader at the moment. It's going to be interesting. I have a feeling these guys are going to push everything they have here at the end. And here comes the 31. He is just really diving it into the corner. Again, he's not dive bombing it. He's just really pushing every ounce of speed he can into that corner. But unfortunately, it's just not enough. And Allison's doing a really good job of protecting that bottom line.
Yeah, and the 31, he lost quite a bit of room off of Jason there. And I think after they cross the line right here, it's official if they get a caution. So now if they get a caution, the race will be over. So if I'm them, I'm trying to stay away from everybody so I don't get a caution.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to end the race under caution. So now is where you really have to be tricky. You know, if you get a caution, it ends the race. So you have no chance of coming back. So you want to get by, but you've got to do it cleanly, and you got to make sure you don't spin yourself out getting it out of shape or anything like that. But it looks like the 37 of Ronald Vincent's going to try to make on the run on the outside, and he's got the 51 pushing him. That is Paul Cohen, who is currently 50 laps down, but he's got speed, and he's going to try to push the 37 to the front.
Right, and I definitely think they're going to have something for him because they came out of nowhere. They're running the high side, a little bit longer of track compared to Jason Allison's, and they're keeping up with him. So if they get a little bit lower, they might have something for him.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Mark Koshik coming back, trying to make a run here as well. I think the problem is, as long as they're battling for second, right now between the 37 and the 33, they're not going to have anything for Jason Allison. We'll see. Mark Koshik still right there. He is. You see him dip below that white line. He is just looking for every ounce of speed he can find. But it's going to be 1 to go at the line. Jason Allison out front right there. It is officially 1 to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. White flag is in the air.
Mark Koshik, I would fully expect them to be 3 wide at the line. I really would. Mark Koshik and Ronald Vincent are making a run out of it.
Yeah, they are indeed, and he's going to jump up there. Will he be able to make something happen? I think the 37 is going to leave him out to dry a little bit. I don't think it's going to matter, as they are going to come to
be
line.
Close. All right.
Your race
Jason Allison
winner
is the race winner.
What a win. That was a heck of a race for Jason Allison to go from a big wreck, go a lap down, come back, win the race. He definitely deserved to win this race after leading 99 laps of it.
Right, and that was a pretty dominant performance by Jason Allison after being wrecked, and he came back to win the race from the back. So I think that was pretty good race.
Definitely a very good race. And we'll go ahead and we're going to get through your unofficial race results here. Coming away with the win is going to be the 28 of Jason Allison. Second place will go to the 33 of Mark Koshik. Third place will be the 37 of Ronald Vincent. Fourth place will be the 31 of Michael Palmer. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 72 of Stephen Leffler. Sixth place will be the 14 of Jeremy Horn. Seventh place, the 12 of Charles Smith. Eighth place will go to the 80 of John Estes. Ninth place, the 3 of Jeff Dotson. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 51 of Paul Cohen. 11th place will go to the 15th of Bruce Wright. And rounding out your field here tonight in 12th place will be the 46 of Jim Whaley Jr. That will do it here for your unofficial race results. We are going to step away here for just a moment, and we will get to the post-race show in just a few moments, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
I spent my whole life chained to the wall. Hunger for more, not afraid to fall. Had to cut a man down to get where I am. But someone had to tumble and someone had to stand. Don't try to fight, there's nothing you can do. And I'm gonna run all over you. It's too late to try, there's nothing you can do. I'm gonna run all over you. I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now. Yeah, I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna stop me. Looking for new blood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the rest of your post-race show. We have third place here with us. That is the 37 of Ronald Vincent. First off, as always, congrats on the third place. Again, we didn't talk about you a whole lot earlier in the race, and then it kind of seemed like you were just magically there, and you were giving these guys a run for their money. So here at Atlanta, what was it like out there? It was looks like it was mostly cloudy out there, so kind of a dreary little day here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but you managed to come in third.
It was a pretty, with the cloud cover, it gave the car a lot of grip. We managed to keep the wheels underneath it, except for the one time I spun the car. It got loose on me, but I didn't hit anything, so I was able to continue and maintain the position and finish third.
Well, you definitely had a fantastic run here. So we'll pull it up real fast. Driver bar. We'll get to the right driver. There it is. You started 7th. You finished 3rd. You led 12 laps. So overall, a good night here at Atlanta. So you can't complain about a podium finish at all. It'll be a good points night for you. I'm not sure exactly where that'll put you in the points. We'll have to look at that going into next week's race. But again, it's just a big shout out to the talent level in this series. So to finish a 3rd place against the stiff competition that's in here, does that kind of give you a momentum boost of any kind going to next week's race?
A little bit. I mean, Pocono it's a tricky track. Just going to hang on to it all race and just, do the best we can.
Well, definitely we will be looking for you to be up in the front next week, Pocono. Any sponsors on the car you want to thank, or just anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Gigabyte. I'd like to thank Gigabyte. They're my main sponsor, and Snap-on Tools. I use them exclusively, and I think they're great.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the 3rd place. And I believe, Randy, you have caught up with our 2nd place finisher.
I have caught up with Mark here. Mark, starting in 11th, finishing 2nd. How did you go about doing that tonight?
Well, my usual strategy is to start in the back and then have some trouble and finish in the back. But tonight, a lot of other people had trouble, so I found myself up in the front and just holding on for dear life. I mean, these cars are kind of easy to drive until all of a sudden they snap loose on you, and it happened to a lot of people. I mean, Ronald said it happened to him. It happened to me. I was checking something on my menus, and the car disappeared out from under me. So it happens to a bunch of people, but it was a fun race.
Right, it was a fun race. We had a lot of incidents going on there today, but definitely a good run from everybody. We saw you up there for a while. What did you do? What did you do to get back up front once you had lost the car a little bit there towards the end?
Yeah, I did. I spun out at the end, and then I don't know, I kind of just drove blind up to the front again. And I think some people were a lap down, they let me by, so I got back to the front, and then, I just couldn't get all the way to the first place, but it was fun.
Right on. So how did your strategy change from the beginning of the race with the pits to the end of the race? How far off were you on your pit strategy?
Well, I didn't even look at really. I wasn't doing strategy. I was going to stay in the back until the end, and I had plenty of gas. I figured some people would gamble on gas, and I didn't bother. So, just at the end, it was hard to pass on the outside. You could get to the outside and get a run, but then you couldn't really go anywhere. So I just stayed on the inside line, or tried to, because that's where it got loose. So it was kind of tricky down there.
Right, that white line could be a killer sometime. But any sponsors and shout-outs you'd like to give before?
Oh, yeah. No, I just really want to give a big thanks to Ron, who was in front of me, because I was staring at his sponsor, Exalta, and I thought it was some kind of blood pressure medicine, and I said, as soon as I'm done with this race, I'm going to get some of that.
Yeah, I think that's Zyrtec. I think I've seen commercials for Zyrtec for that.
Seriously, thanks to you guys for broadcasting this races. Great job on that, and it's a fun series and a fun bunch of guys.
All right, well, congratulations on second place tonight, and look forward to having you next week again.
Yeah, I love the trippy triangle, but I don't do great there, so thanks again.
All right, thank you. I think Charles is caught up with the winner. Off to you, Charles. All right. Well, I think Charles is gone. So,
yeah, we're
Jason...
here. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Had a mic issue going on. We do apologize. But yeah, as I was saying, while my mic was going a little haywire, we have caught up with Jason Allison, the 28, who there for a while we thought nobody could touch him. And in the end, I don't think anybody really could. He dominated 99 laps led, went a lap down, got that lap back, came back to win the race. And there in those last probably 15 laps, you look like a man on a mission getting to the front. So to dominate a race with 99 laps led, how does it feel to pull away the win, especially after all the adversity you had to go through to get there?
At first, I didn't think I was going to get it, especially when I screwed up on pit road. That was all on me. But other than that, like you were saying, driving like a man on a mission, I was like, I am going to get this win no matter what, as long as I don't wreck anybody.
Well, you definitely did that, and did it in style to get up to the front. You started first, you finished first, you led all but very few laps here. Again, almost 100 laps. So, you can't really do any better than that. If you'd have led all the laps, that would have been a really dominating. But you definitely came in here and showed them how to get it done. So very good. Only 0.059 separating you and Mark Koshik there at the end. So not only did you dominate, it was a great race to watch all night long. But again, we don't want to keep anybody here too late, as it is already getting a little late for some people to have to go to work tomorrow. But again, the only thing you can say, dominating performance. So any sponsors on the car, we know you might have some people to give shout-outs to for that dominating performance in the win.
The car itself is just an Hitachi. It's just basically Japanese images on it, so it's no real sponsorship for that, but sponsors definitely. RTRL for hosting the series, letting me race in it since I'm only a part-time racer, as well as VRN for always doing the broadcast and always being top-notch at it. And then, of course, ibog.co for doing the overlays for most of the groups out there. If y'all need help with them, let me know at ibog.co.
All right. Well, again, congrats on that win, and that is about going to do it here. We want to thank all of our partners for coming on board, of course, starting with Walls of Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, and of course iBog, as you just talked to the owner of that. A big shout out to him coming on board and racing here and winning the race. That is going to do it here for tonight's broadcast. Make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow night's racing action. We will be bringing you the race score, as always, for their Xfinity Series on Sunday night. And we are in the works. We're going to be talking to the No Excuses Sim Series about the recruitment race they're going to be putting on tomorrow afternoon. We may be covering that as well. We'll see how the car count turns out and whatnot. But stay tuned for that. Again, check us out at facebook.com/Virtual Racing Network for all the latest information on that. And we will see you at tomorrow's races.